Hello and welcome everyone to our Thursday educational series. I'm today's host and EllieMD's social media manager, Brenda Rios. Today we're excited to welcome three guests to tell their real journeys, real results, experiences. Katie Hill, Brandy Ledford, and Annie D. Watkins. Thank you all for joining us today. So I'd like to start off with Katie. My first guest is Katie, who is a firewife and a mom of two teens who has navigated the challenges of PCOS and insulin resistance. After struggling for years to lose weight following her second pregnancy, she began GLP-1 therapy through EllieMD in July of 2024. Using semaglutide, Katie has lost 85 pounds over 14 months and has since transitioned to the microdose of GLP-1 GIP to support insulin resistance and maintain her results. Today, she's passionate about fitness, fueling her body with intention, and living healthier and more energized life. I love that for you, Katie. Thank you for joining. So, to begin, what got you started on this? Please share a little bit more.
Yeah. Hi, everyone, and thank you for the intro. I'm Katie. I think to kind of start my story, I've got to back up just a little bit. Um, I was struggling with symptoms of PCOS for years before I was ever diagnosed. I had kind of all of the telltale signs, the acne, facial hairs, secondary infertility, irregular cycles. But probably the one that was the hardest to deal with was just really struggling to lose weight. I would try and try and try all of the things and could lose about 10-ish pounds on my own. And that was it. I constantly felt just frustrated and defeated all the time. I officially got my PCOS diagnosis in 2022. And working with my doctor, we tried just different things to manage the symptoms, but the inability to lose weight was still something that I was really struggling with. Around that time, someone close to me that I knew started taking a GLP-1, and I kind of was able to watch from the sidelines and just kind of see how that was working for them. And they ended up having really great results. So that kind of like piqued my curiosity, but I still felt pretty nervous to give it a try for myself. Um, Also, around that time, my Instagram algorithm just started showing me some reels of this girl that I found on Instagram who also has PCOS, who is sharing her journey. And I just felt like I really saw myself in her story. And so I ended up reaching out to her and just asking some questions. And I really didn't think that she was going to respond to me because I was like, I'm just some random lady on the internet um, asking a stranger questions about weight loss and a GLP-1. But she was super kind to me, so friendly, and answered all of my questions. And I started to feel like a little bit more at ease about the idea of potentially trying a GLP-1 for myself. Um, that really kind of started my journey into doing my own research, doing my own digging, just trying to find all of the information that I could for myself. And I ended up sitting down with my husband because I knew that, like, for our family, it was going to be a bit of a financial sacrifice for me to start that journey. And so before I ever even placed my first order, I wanted to give myself 3 months of consistently um, making shifts with my nutrition and with movement and exercise. So I felt very motivated. I hit Facebook Marketplace, bought some used gym equipment. I got myself a food scale. I started logging my food and tracking my macros, and just really started to become very intentional about those two parts of my health journey. So after the 3 months of consistently doing those things, I circled back around to my friend that I found on Instagram. and just told her, I was like, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to add this tool to my tool belt. And so, July of 2024, I officially started my GLP-1 journey. And with the GLP-1 and the combination of nutrition and movement, I really felt like that was kind of the trifecta, like the three things that my PCOS body really, really needed. Um, I remember like losing 15 pounds, losing 20, losing 25, and just being like, I cannot believe this is happening. Like, I finally really started to see the changes in my body that I had wanted to see for so long. So by the end of 2024, I had lost right around 50 pounds. And then by September of 2025, I had officially lost 85 pounds. So for me, I just took all three of those tools and went full send on all three of them and just stayed very consistent. Yeah, so that's kind of my journey in a nutshell. I'm currently microdosing tirzepatide to help with my insulin resistance, and I'm just kind of help maintain the work that I've put in. But yeah, these peptides have changed my life forever.
I love that. And it's just so true. Um, and it shows how important it is to share your story because, I mean, you saw how other people were sharing their story, and then the more that you share, it just inspires. It really shows how inspirational it can be. That's how I felt. I totally related to that. I was also so scared to start, but I was so committed, and I did those same lifestyle changes. So can you share maybe exercises or nutrition tips that helped you with seeing those results?
Yeah. And I'm just going to be transparent. Like, I have never been a gym girl or anybody that's like looks forward to lifting weights or somebody that like focuses on nutrition. But I think I'm just going to trail off for a second. I think besides the physical way that exercise has changed my body, it's also been a complete game changer for my mental health. I think that it helps so much with that too. So for me, I hit Instagram and found some different accounts that I loved to build workout splits. So I have a couple that I love and use for like inspiration. And I think the biggest thing that I do that works for me is setting my intention. So every Sunday, I try and sit down and set my intention for the week when it comes to working out. I feel like you can really execute a plan a lot better if you sit down and write it out. So I write out my workout split for the week. I have a push day, a pull day, and two lower body days. And then I'll just go on Instagram or wherever you like to find workout inspo and build your own routine for whatever you're doing. And it doesn't have to be complicated or crazy. You don't have to be slinging your body all over the place. Stick to like the basics movements that are hitting kind of those targeted muscle groups that you want. And then with that, just being so mindful with nutrition. And again, like you can type in the hashtag on Instagram, like protein info or whatever it is you're looking for, and you can find there's so much stuff out there, and just find what works for you. And it doesn't have to be complicated or hard. I laugh a lot with my mom because I feel kind of like a granny a little bit. Like, I eat the same foods all the time. We're eating ground turkey, Greek yogurt, just kind of like those staple things that I don't know, I've just learned to love them. And I still live and eat yummy foods too, but it's just I like the way my body feels when I'm fueling it with nutrient dense, high protein foods.
Ah, I love that 100%. And I love that you mentioned writing down those intentions because even for me, when I started my GLP-1 journey, if even if it was just as simple as making sure that I was walking the dogs outside twice, it just really helps you get into that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having a plan is such a big part of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. Yeah, Joshua, I was just thinking of that. the book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I always have it in my mindset, just 1% better every day. Just 10 more minutes on cardio.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thanks so much for letting me share. I appreciate it.
Of course. And now I'd like to welcome Brandy. Brandy Ledford is a 42-year-old and has been married to her husband Josh for 21 years. Together, they own a small business in South Carolina and are raising two teenagers, making life full, busy, and full of meaningful milestones. Outside of work and family, Brandy enjoys Peloton rides, lake days, and embracing the simple moments. Passionate about personal and professional growth, she's deeply committed to helping others feel confident, supported, and empowered in their own journeys. Love that. Welcome, Brandy.
Hi. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having
Oh,
me.
of course. So you're balancing business ownership, raising two teenagers, and prioritizing your health, which is no small feat. So can you take us back to the moment you decided to add peptide support and share what was happening in your life when health became a priority?
Yeah, so back in 2020, life was crazy for everybody. And I just knew that I had to do something for myself with everything that was going on. So I bought a Peloton. And I was like, I'm committed to this. I love my pellet, I loved it. And I worked out, and by 2022, I had lost like 60 pounds on my own. Just completely changed my whole life, my lifestyle, my supplements changed, everything changed. And then in 2024, I turned 40. No, 2023, I turned 40. And the day that I turned 40, my body changed. And I knew that it was perimenopause, and I felt a shift that day. I know that that sounds crazy, but really, it is so true how it happened to me. So slowly, I kept gaining a few pounds here, a few pounds there, and I was doing everything the same, and my weight just kept creeping up. I worked out 3 to 5 times a week. I lifted weights. I did splits. I rode my bike. I was on the treadmill. Like I did everything, and nothing at all would make anything budge for me. So in July of this year, I was one of those. I will never be the shot girl. I can do this. I've done it before. I'm never going to try it. But I done a lot of research for like probably like a year. And then in July of this year, no, in 2025, I ordered a microdose because I really only wanted to lose about 20 to 25 pounds, but I didn't know, I knew that I didn't need a the full protocol. So that's what I went with. And I knew within a week that this was going to be something that would change my life. I had fibromyalgia and I have Crohn's disease, and the inflammation that goes along with both of those, it just went away. After about a month, my inflammation in my gut, in my joints, and everything just kind of was like gone. So I knew if I did not lose a pound, that I would still be on this microdose forever just because it changed my way of life. I mean, I did all the exercises and I did everything that I could do, but I still had the fibro pain and I still had, stuff going on in my gut that nobody could help me with unless I wanted to be on medication. And that's just not me. I'm not a medicine person. I don't want to have to take a pill every day. But so since I've been on it, I've lost 27 pounds. But more than anything, I have a life. I can, run marathons, or not really half, but pretty much half marathons. But I can do all the things that I never would have thought that I could do before I introduced this. About 6 months into my journey, I added the NAD, and y'all, my sleep is amazing. My brain, my clarity, my mental clarity is just so, it's night and day than when before I even added the NAD. And brain fog is huge with fibromyalgia, and it is just it has changed so much in my everyday life. I'm a full-time student also in college. I don't know why, but I am. It's like one of
Love
those
it.
things. Hey, let's do something um crazy. And so I went back to college. Last semester was my first semester, and I added that NAD in like November, and it changed everything from my studying, from my learning, from everything. So I can't say enough about that either. I'm not sure which one is my favorite, if it's the trizepatide or the NAD at this point, but um, I don't think I will want to live without them. Bad news, I accidentally threw my third month away of my trizepatide when my NAD was out, and I didn't throw it away, and I was like, this is not good. So yesterday was my shot day, and I didn't have it. So when with the storm, I have it on the way. But anyway, yeah. But I still feel great. I mean, I thought, oh gosh, is my appetite going to be raging? Is my body going to be screaming? And I know it's just one day, past, but I still feel fine. I still have energy, and you know, I'm still getting all the benefits from it. So, um, yeah, I tell everybody that I can about it. you know, just how much it has changed just my balance, the balance of my life, my hormone balance, my weight balance, just energy, everything. So I tell anybody that'll listen.
Aw, no, that's amazing. And I have only ever heard really positive stories with NAD. And I mean, I have also felt the benefits of it. And even just going with the microdosing, there's just even the gradual weight loss, the inflammation reduction, like I 100% agree with you. And I know you're on a couple of other peptides. You mentioned NAD. Can you share a little bit more of other peptides? And have you also noticed if there's maybe a best time of day to take certain peptides that maximizes their effects?
So I did do a cycle of, I'm gonna probably butcher the name, the Samorlin, and
Somewhere. Hmm.
I really, really, really enjoyed the benefits from that. Just like the working out benefits, I was able to recover a lot easier, a lot quicker. I didn't really get as sore as I usually would. Um, my the fat that I could not get to go anywhere, no matter how much weight I lost, slowly. I could probably do another cycle and see a lot more benefit, but it slowly kind of came off. Um, and the sleep with the Samorlin is top tier too. I mean, my watch now records my sleep, and I think my sleep score is like 95 most nights. And if I didn't have to let the dog out, it would probably be 99. Like I sleep so good. I hit the floor every morning ready. Like I'm not dragging myself to the coffee pot or anything. Like the sleep on the Samorlin with the NAD is chef's kiss. It is the best. Um, and then just recently I started the PT 141. Um, so far I'm not seeing much change. I did message my provider, and she told me to cut my dose in half because it does give me kind of a headache, and it makes me have a cough like for like 12 hours. It's just like one of those nagging coughs. Um, and I haven't seen a lot of the benefits from it. But she told me to try half the dose, and I'm going to, and see how that goes. She said not a lot of people have the cough, but she said it is something, and it's just, and you take that at night. So it's like, who wants to cough all night? So so I'm not going to give up on it yet. Everything else has been great, so I don't see this being anything. I just got to find my sweet spot with it, I think.
Hmm.
So the Samorlin you take at night, and I just ran out like 3 days ago. And I don't know if I want to try something else or just get another round because I did love it so much. And then the PT 141, you can only take like 2 times a week, 8 doses max a month, and not within 24 hours. And that time is up to you. It's 30 to 60 minutes prior to any type of relation. So that I don't think there's a certain time that's better or worse. That's going to be on you, and your partner or
Hmm.
whatever. So yeah, I'm not gonna give up on the PT 141 just yet, but so
Especially with Valentine's around the corner.
oh.
But we had Jennifer Woodward on yesterday on our men's educational series, and just some of the words that stuck with me is like, you never know until you try, just because there's so many peptides out there, and something might work for someone, and another person might not see the same results, but you never know unless you try.
Right.
Love that. Did you change anything with your lifestyle habits, like maybe water intake, exercise, when you started your microdose journey?
Not really as far as exercise because I've been Pelotoning for years, and I think I can exercise a little bit more because feel like I have more energy. As far as water, I probably drink double the amount of water that I did, and I've always tried to keep it at like 90 to 100 grams of protein, but I'm probably in the 120s. I try to be most days, 120 to 130 a day for the protein. I did up that just because I'm not as hungry as often. So what I eat, it needs to mean something to get me to the next time I'm going to eat. So I did up my protein when I started microdosing for sure.
I love that. And it goes back to what Katie was mentioning about intention. I always have to make sure that I intentionally have high protein in my meals, and that's just going to help us get to those results. Well, Brandy, thank you so much for joining us and for
Thank
sharing your
you.
story.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And now I'd like to welcome Andy. Andy is a Clemson Life student who loves sharing faith, fitness, and everyday life with her college friends. On her wellness journey, she's learning how to care for both her body and mind through LEMD and microdose GLP-1 GIP support. Andy is focused on feeling her best and encouraging others to believe in themselves, whether they have special needs or simply want to feel healthier or more confident. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
I am very excited to share my journey with you guys.
mm,
So when I went to in the kitchen, I'm talking about my mom now. So I went in the kitchen and wanted to buy a like something to help me lose weight, to just help me feel my best because I was not feeling my best. So I went in the kitchen and I told my mom, I said, Mom, okay, so now um can I look at ordering the shot from EllieMD? And she said, yeah. And so we ordered it. It took me an hour, you guys, an hour or 45 minutes, as my mom would say, 45 minutes to an hour to do my shot. So my mom sat in the kitchen, we prayed, we talked, and we said, okay, Andy, you got this. Like, you don't have to be nervous to put a needle in your stomach. So I've lost about, I want to say 45 pounds. And so it has helped me so much because usually if there's like food sitting in my like where I can see it, I would want to eat all of the food that is on the table because I would feel bad that no one else was eating it, and I would be like, oh my gosh, now it's my time to eat all the food so no one feels bad. So yeah, I'm really excited. It has helped me so much. It has helped me feel better in my clothes and make, makes me feel better. It makes me look like I am I just wanted to look my best or feel my best. So yeah.
that's amazing. And I feel like a lot of people relate to that. Like we all want to look and feel our best. And have you made any, before starting your journey, were there any habits that you thought, okay, I definitely need to cut that out? I know for me, it's like I loved having ice cream at night, but once I started my journey, I was like, okay, I got to increase protein, let go of the ice cream. So what
Yes.
was those lifestyle shifts like for you?
Um, well, when I was bored or like anxious, I would go to the closet, like the pantry, and eat all the snacks because I was so like anxious. I wanted to be, I guess I would say food was my comfort. And so that has helped me, and it has helped me not eat as much as I used to, because usually if I get nervous, I will grab food and just eat it because it helps me. I guess it helped my body calm down in a way.
Hmm. Yeah, same. And what about have you noticed if there are certain times in the day where you might take one shot versus maybe day versus night? How did that look like for you? Did you
I
notice any changes?
Well, I usually do it at night just so, or during the day, in the morning usually, but I have been trying to do it in the middle of the day because I would find out that after I did it in the morning, I would be pretty hungry in the afternoon. So I decided to change my time to around lunchtime. So when I'm home from doing all my college things, I would come home, do the shot, and then I would be out and not as hungry as I used to be.
Nice. And I know you balance a lot with college life, fitness, faith. So, is there any intentional habits that you do with balancing your microdose journey and with getting those lifestyle habits into place to make sure that everything works
Yes,
together?
yes, ma'am. So what we in Clemson Life we do this thing called a workout. So we do it every Tuesday and Thursday. And so I do workouts and I do them Tuesday and Thursday. I go every day and I just try to work out. I do Peloton now. I started doing the Peloton bike where I go in somewhere and I just ride the bike, and I love it because it has helped me feel like I am actually like feeling my best. Like I feel better when I'm doing something or making my body move.
No, I love that. And is there any tips that have helped you that you think might help our audience?
I would just say, okay, so one thing I would love to say is if I didn't love this, I would not share it. I
Mm.
would not share my journey. If I did not like it, I would not share it. I would actually keep it to myself because it would, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't share it. But I love it so much, and I would love to help you through your journey to teach you more about EllieMed and everything. And yeah, so that's
No, that's relatable. I think a lot of people feel that way, and people are feeling good about themselves, and that's why they're sharing their journey. And even how Brandy mentioned, even though she wasn't seeing those PT-141 results, she's still hopeful that it could help her. And no, I 100% agree. Um, we have some comments in that words were hitting home. Thank you so much, Andy.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And thank you to all of our guests for sharing your experiences with us. We really do love hearing all of these amazing stories. We see them on social media, and I love that we are able to share those through this platform. So, to our viewers who want to catch the replay, make sure to tune in on our YouTube tomorrow. This concludes our Real Journeys, Real Outcomes. We will be back next week for our educational series, and you'll definitely want to tune in for that one. Again, thank you so much, Brandy, Andy, and Katie.